Hi everyone, I'm Trev from Coiltek, and today I'm going to have a bit of a chat with Guy, the Gold Rush guy. He's a pretty well-known YouTuber and on the forums and social media, and he's actually tested our new NOX series over in Victoria and had some good success. So hi Guy, how are you?
G'day Trevor, how are you going?
Good mate, good. Thanks for joining me on the on this little show that we're going to put together. So it's basically we're just going to have a bit of a chat about the coils, get some opinions from yourself, and see which ones that you actually like during testing, and hopefully that gives some good information for people out there in the world to go ahead and get their coils as well.
Yeah, no problem.
So in your experience with these coils, you've had them for a few months now. How have you found them? And, I'm sure you've seen some of your finds that you've found.
Yep.
How have you found the coils so far?
Yeah, really good, Trevor. So, as you know, I do a lot of my work actually out in the goldfields, and occasionally go down the beach and also into the parks. But yeah, it was great over the three coils to give them a good workout in different sort of settings, and test them in different sort of areas. So, and especially in Victoria, we have some of the most mineralized ground around, especially even locally. So where I live is right on the edge of a old volcano, so they're really good test for the coils. And yeah, look, I was really happy with the performance.
And you say with the mineralized ground, people tend to think, mineralized ground is only in the gold fields, but you got to remember a lot of Victoria was gold fields over the time. So,
Yeah.
but the mineralized ground that you're hunting is just sort of in park areas too.
Yeah, most definitely. Even down the beach. So we have some black sands where I was doing some of the testing of the 14x9 down at the beach, which once the coils came through and I had a close look at them, yeah, the 14x9 was really well suited to beach detecting. Good size, gets good coverage, but also got that sort of the weight in it to help you, especially when you get underwater. So it wasn't sort of floating away, and really nice sort of balance with the machine.
So yeah, the 14x9 is definitely one that we're suggesting to be a top water hunter, because
Yep.
it is a bit more robust than the others. So yeah, you definitely found that wanted to sink.
Yeah. So and got some really good depth. So got a couple of what we in Australia call goldies, $1 or $2 coins, at depth on the soft sand.
Yep.
And also when it got in the water, got an old ring that was basically in the black sand. So basically it came out as a bit of a conglomerate, which can happen with targets that have been in the water for a long time. So that probably was there for maybe 10 or 20 years in the black sand. So it was a good pickup. It's a very popular beach, so it gets hammered. But I've also used the 14x9 in the parks, and it's really good because especially for pinpointing. So you get the depth of it with the 14-inch, but with the 9-inch sort of lateral, you're also getting some nice pinpointing. So that's a really good performance in the parks as well.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be a bit of a sleeper coil.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a little bit heavier than some of the other coils out there. But I think, a lot of people have bungee setups and different shafts as well, like aftermarket shafts, which are really good quality and can help sort of keep the balance with the coil, and can push through that soft sand on the dry sand as well, because there's lots of ridges there. And if you're pushing through that, the wing design's pretty strong. How have you found that?
Yeah, look, that's been excellent. I think that was one of the first things that I that I noticed about it. But I think the other thing that I thought was really well is how the skid plates it's got such a snug fit. So even after that session in the beach, obviously one of the first things you do when you get back from the beach is you wash down the Equinox, because you don't want salt in places it shouldn't be. But to take the skid plate off and find that there was barely any sand in there is really good, because that can affect your if you don't realize it, not only sand but also the grass, and that can affect the performance of the machine when you're out.
And that's a really good point, and you mentioned the black sands that are on the beaches as well. They're really fine grain black sands, and they can get in and start to build up in between the skid plate and the actual coil. And, you're getting a highly mineralized sort of lump right there, which can, affect coils. People have said it over the years for gold hunting as well. Where mineralized sand gets in between there, and the coil gets a bit noisy, and you give it a clean out and put it all back together, and it tends to give it a bit more quietness, because that mineralization concentration is reduced.
Yeah, and I think the other part was really good, Trevor, is the actual machine, because it's got a black sands overload. So the actual machine where I was actually overloaded in the black sands, but when I was detecting around there, and I had the sensitivity on not full, I had it on 19, I think, which is still pretty high, and it was still very, very quiet in the water. So I'm very, very happy with that. So again, that's one of the things that a lot of people do a little bit differently. Some people like to have their machines quiet, but especially even in the parks close to the city, I'll still run mine at 25, because while you do get a visual readout on your targets, it's the audio that is basically what I use as a key indicator, as into what I'm just about to hopefully dig up.
Yeah, right. So you're listening for that sort of change, even though it might be a little bit chirpier. You're listening for that sort of repeatable change.
Yeah, and with some of them, there's almost like a little bit of a tone roll in it. So you'll get the little blips and all that kind of stuff, but they're very, very short. And once you get your ear in, you can usually tell when it targets as you're swinging over it, and it usually stops you pretty quickly. And then you sort of go back over it, and then you'll do it again at 90 degrees, and hopefully can confirm that target. So. And probably the other really, really good thing that I've noticed about it is that the actual target IDs are identical to the stock 11 coil, and also the bigger coil as well, which is good. So people don't need to sort of throw all their coins out in the grass again and just check what they read with the new coils.